Y'all remember this one, man? Before we get into this diss, man, another goddamn diss. Did y'all remember this joint from Pap? I'm glad that this the best thing about him dissing 50 is him giving me an excuse to kind of play this for y'all real quick. This was my favorite one of the series right here.
Oh, somebody done done me wrong.
This one?
My eyes to the ceiling all night long. All night long. Time is slipping away from me. Away from me. It ain't no telling when I get home. Gotta get home.
If your fam locked up and you sick of the law, take these bars to the visiting floor. Hurry up before they imprison us all. Welcome to Law Library, Part 4. Homicide. Put down your gun for a while. If it's a full moon, listen to sun for a while. The definition of homicide is the conduct that causes the death of another person or an unborn child. I send these words to a mother if her son's on trial. Food for thought, no more child. If you intend to cause physical injury to a person and you kill him, that's not a murder, that's a lesser charge. Subdivision. 1 paragraph A, we should all learn this. If you catch a body under emotional disturbance, that does not constitute murder. So you got a chance, cause it constitutes a mitigating circumstance.
This was hard. Yeah, this one, this is my favorite Law Library from Pat, man. That's Law Library Part 4 from Papoose. If you guys haven't heard that, I would encourage you to kind of go through the whole series, man. I thought that was actually very, very creative from Papoose. It's almost like he's an attorney, you know, speaking to young black youth or whatever the case may be that's in the streets or whatever, you know, teaching them how to navigate the law. You know what I'm saying? And if they get jammed up or something like that, you know, he's kind of giving them game on again, just how to navigate the law and get themselves out of a difficult circumstance. So that was a really, really dope creative series in my opinion. Pap has always been, I think, a little underrated when it comes to creativity, even with the alphabetical slaughter and all that. So yeah, shout out to Pat for that. But yes, why are we here? Papoose is diss 50 Cent. This isn't the first one. They've had like a weird long-standing beef. I mean, 50. Who hasn't 50 beef with to keep it a being with you for? You know, since his introduction in the game, the man has just been, he introduced himself in the game with basically how to rob. You know what I'm saying? So he came in the game with contention. You know what I'm saying? So it's just been that way. But yeah, let's get to it, man. I don't want to talk too long. Agent Provocateur, Papoose, let's rock.
Hey yo, 50, you a bitch, man. You can't bully no Brooklyn nigga.
You are now listening to the sound of
He was a crab in a barrel until Eminem picked him. Made himself famous by claiming he was a victim. His claim to fame was I got shot 9 times. But the truth is he only got shot 5 times. He lied cause he wanted to get shot more than Tupac. Lame choice, game voice, G you not. Queens don't.
All right. Okay. I like how you started it. You know, he was a crab in a barrel until Eminem picked him, right? The idea of what a crab in a barrel, right? It means it's an old sort of, you know, saying basically, like, you know, black people tend to be crabs in a barrel is what people used to say. I don't know if that's still a thing, but they would say, yo, you're a crab in a barrel. You see a crab getting out of the barrel, and then other crabs will grab that crab and bring him down. So Pap is saying you was a crab in a barrel. You was in from the slums like everybody else. And anytime someone tried to make it out, you were snatching them down. And then basically Eminem saved you. You was just a dusty dude, you know, like preying on the downfall of others before you had to get saved by Eminem. And then he had the your only claim to fame was you being a victim, basically, right? You know, what did Jay say? He said, "I'm afraid of the future. Y'all respect the one that got shot. I respect the shooter." You know what I'm saying? That was a hard lie off of 30's the New 20 from Jay. And then Jadakiss said something along the lines of, since when was it cool to get shot, not shoot back? You know, and then I think, and that was on Checkmate, and then Styles and Jada had shots fired when they were like, what did they say? Get rich and die trying was a classic. Now you rich and you trying to die. You's a dumb bastard. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was going crazy on 50, Jadakiss and Styles. Jadakiss definitely with the Checkmate, but Styles came through with Jadakiss on shots fired, and they had that. So that's been a running theme is, you know, 50 is, you know, Jay took shots at him and Styles and all that. Like, you came in the game on some victim shit. I mean, that you ain't no super gangster. You're just a victim. So, yeah, I like how he started it. Let me pull it back. And then he said the G U not bar, right? You know, I hope that most people watching this video remembers Game's GU Not campaign, where he was going around and put, prancing, going around New York, going around 50's mansion and all that, and saying "G you not" and plagiarizing or tagging shit up with signs and all that as well. So, but you not a G. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Game is saying G you not like anti-G unit, but you also not a G. You not a gangster. G you not. So that was slick. Let me pull that back though.
You can't bully no Brooklyn nigga.
You are now listening to the sound of
Papoose? He was a crab in the barrel until Eminem picked him. Made himself famous by claiming he was a victim. His claim to fame was I got shot 9 times, but the truth is he only got shot 5 times. He lied cause he wanted to get shot more than Tupac. Lame choice, game voice, G you not. Queens don't respect you, they know.
Yeah, the whole, he lied because he wanted to, he wanted to get shot more than Tupac. We know Pac got shot 5 times, right? So he's saying it was a lie about the whole 9 times thing. Yeah, I believe that was verified as well, if I'm not mistaken. He actually didn't get shot 9 times. So yeah, Pap going there. It's different when a New York dude from your own backyard is going at you. That's the feeling I got with Jadakiss. It's like when you beefing with, Damani. Shout out to Damani. I thought he had a pretty good diss, man. And then, T.I. diss I thought was solid. And, people have just admitted passing is cool. But when you going against dudes in your backyard that know people, that know somebody that knows you or they know you, they got a little bit more ammunition. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with Pat right now.
You can't bully no Brooklyn nigga.
You are now listening to the sound of
Papoose? He was a crab in the barrel until Eminem picked him. Made himself famous by claiming he was a victim. His claim to fame was I got shot 9 times, but the truth is he only got shot 5 times. He lied cause he wanted to get shot more than Tupac. Lame choice, game voice, G you not. Queens don't respect you, they know you a joke, you clown. You from Queens, but pay Bronx niggas to hold you down. You even hate on your own crew. Why you be dissing Banks? Is it cause he nicer than you or cause you just a snake? Try to take Mayweather money, put you in your place. Heard that story about how Floyd punched you in your face.
Yeah, buddy. Pat was just taking notes. Pat, you know what I'm saying? Pat was just like waiting for this opportunity. Like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, he's referencing the Floyd Mayweather situation. Floyd and 50 were kind of close at one point. They had a little, discrepancy, over money and all this other stuff. And Floyd punched 50 in the face allegedly. But 50 did say that he snatched Floyd up. So I was always wondering like how that really went, just out of curiosity. He said, yeah, he caught me, but I had to snatch his little ass up or something, he said. But Queens don't respect you walking around with Bronx dudes, you know what I'm saying? So you don't have dudes in your own hood that's really rocking with you, even though I know that 50 has had Queens dudes around him. Slow Bucks and Trav and all of them used to be around him. So I guess he's saying like, maybe currently you backstabbed and burned bridges from a lot of dudes in Queens. They don't rock with you, so now you gotta have Bronx dudes hold you down. Then he said, the Banks joint, right? The Banks play, right? When the G Unit mixtapes came out, I think I can probably speak for most people when we were like, yo, we couldn't wait. We was at the edge of our seat waiting for the mixtapes just to see what Banks would say. 50 was fire with songs and all that, but people, when we came to bars, I think everybody can attest to this. Everybody was excited to hear, Banks with the punchline game. So yeah, he's going there.
Down. You even hate on your own crew. Why you be dissing Banks? Is it cause he nicer than you or cause you just a snake? Try to take Mayweather money, put you in your place. Heard that story about how Floyd punched you in your face. Did 6 months in shop, you never been upstate. Vivica tossed your salad, she had a shitty face. Black child poke.
Hey yo. We ain't gonna go down that road with the whole toss of salad, shitty face thing. But I wanna go back to the Banks line too, because I've always found that odd. I know that Banks' father had passed away, and I think that was Banks' reasoning for why he distanced himself from 50, because 50 was just kind of calling him lazy, but Banks was like, there was a point in time where he wasn't making music because he was sort of going through some things. His father passed away, and Fifth, I guess, was just very insensitive about that situation, and I think that's what caused the distancing, you know what I'm saying? And then, but yet 50 saying slick stuff about Banks over the years. Banks, from my understanding, never really said much of anything to 50. He always kind of kept it quiet and stayed off the internet, but 50 would always take little slick shots. So he's just like, why you keep dissing Banks? Is it because you secretly jealous that he's just better than you at the art of rapping? You mad? You know what I'm saying? And then again, the Vivica Fox line looks like he's about to talk about the Black Child situation, Murder Inc., Black Child, you know what I'm saying? From what I heard, you know what I'm saying, he got poked up.
5 times. He lied cause he wanted to get shot more than Tupac. Lame choice, game voice, G you not. Queens don't respect you, they know you a joke, you clown. You from Queens, but pay Bronx niggas to hold you down. You even hate on your own crew. Why you be dissing Banks? Is it cause he nicer than you, or cause you just a snake? Try to take Mayweather money, put you in your place. Heard that story about how Floyd punched you in your face. Did 6 months in shop, you never been upstate. Vivica tossed your salad, she had a shitty face. Black child poked you up, left you with the shakes. Bruno Carvalho yapped your chain and ended up with a case. When he got shot, they tried to
See, this is what when you going against dudes that's in your own backyard that knows somebody that knows you. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's the circle is small, especially in the industry. So I don't even know what's up with this, man. This please help me out in the comments. When people who's from Queens, all my Queens, some people from New York, Bruno Carvalho yapped his chain, took his chain, and ended up with a case. I don't even know about that. I don't know who Bruno is. So let me help me understand. But this is what it is. You got. You know, you got the dirt when you are in the same backyard. Somebody's from your hometown. They can find somebody that knows you. Now, it could be haters and people could be lying. Who knows if that's true? But if it is true, that's the risk you run when you going at it with someone that's from your own backyard. He said something else. Oh yeah, you did 6 months in shop. You never been upstate. You know what I'm saying? So this whole gangster persona that you on, you only did 6 months, man. You ain't really put no work in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all you a victim. You never did time. You never been down before. It's all a facade. Is the picture that Pap is painting. Okay, cool.
Black child poked you up, left you with the shakes. Bruno Carvalho yapped your chain and ended up with a case. When he got shot, they tried to take his face off. That nigga jaw was wired up like Jake Paul. When I seen his first movie, I knew he was fake, dog.
Yeah, but listen, Jake Paul got a bag. Like, he got a crazy bag for getting his jaw cracked, though. You know what I'm saying? Referencing the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight, Jake Paul literally had to get his jaw wired. He broke, at least his jaw was broken. I believe he had to get it wired. Yeah, that was funny.
Got shot, they tried to take his face off. That nigga jaw was wired up like Jake Paul. When I seen his first movie, I knew he was fake, dog. His man pulled out the gun, was ready for straight wall. He said, we gon' get him another way. Straight fraud, nigga shot you up and all you wanna do is make songs. Heard you diabetic, take care of yourself, you getting older. If they amputate you, I hope it's your head from your shoulders. I'm not concerned about how much
50 got diabetes? See, this is what I'm saying. Like, he know everything. You know, so I don't know if it's true. Does 50 have diabetes though? But that line was hard. He flipped it, right? You know, when you have diabetes, unfortunately, some people, they lose limbs as a result of the disease. So they have limbs amputated. He was just like, fuck that. If they do amputate something, I want it to be your head. I want you out of here, right? So that was cool. In battle rap, it's all about how you manipulate things, right? Like you would think like 50 in that movie, like, no, he was probably smart with like, let's wait now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get him another time. 50 was looking for a more opportune time to get the drop on his enemy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to recklessly just kill his enemy and get jammed up and get caught or whatever the case may be. But Pap is flipping that like, yeah, you was just fronting, man. You scared. You know what I'm saying? You was scared. You didn't want to put no work in. So again, attacking this gangster facade that he says 50 has. It's almost like whenever you guys ever I always think of like things that people say when I know they soft and they don't want to fight, but it still makes them look like they might be able to get busy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't want it. You ever seen that shit? Like, he don't want it. You know what I'm saying? You better get that. You better get him. Like, you scared. You don't want it. And you scared and you're hoping somebody holds him back so he don't beat your motherfucking ass. He don't want it. No, you don't want it. But it kind of comes off, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't what you want. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not what you want. You scared and you're trying to sound tough, and it's a way to play it off. You know what I mean? So I think that's the kind of angle that Pap is playing here. Like, yeah, we'll get him another time. No, you scared and you don't want to put the work in. Anyways, let's keep it going.
Another way, straight fraud. Nigga shot you up and all you want to do is make songs. Heard you diabetic, take care of yourself. You getting older. If they amputate you, I hope it's your head from your shoulders. I'm not concerned about how much money can Curtis show, cause he bankrupt. So mathematically, Curtis older. Only Curtis we respect in hip hop is Curtis Blow. But the question is, how much dick can Curtis blow? Pause. Seen a picture of you smiling, holding a dildo. Talk all that gangster talk, but is it real though? That's why you say get the strap. I didn't catch on. When 50 say get the strap, he mean get the strap on.
Yeah, pause again though. You know what I mean? We need another one after that, Pap. I get it though. You know what I mean? 50 had this whole thing, get the strap. Right? He had this little thing he was saying back in the Pimpin' Curly days. I remember Pimpin' Curly. You know what I'm saying? He had this whole get the strap statement. You know what I'm saying? When he would go on camera and he would see something crazy and whatever, someone talking crazy about him or see something stupid is, say, yo, get the strap. So that's what he's playing on, but he's saying obviously a strap on, which y'all know what that is. You know what I'm saying? The Curtis Blow play there. You know, shout out to the legendary Curtis Blow. But he was just saying mathematically 50 owes as well. Like he went bankrupt. So he's, again, literally attacking every little thing that we've heard about 50 over the years. You got poked up by Black Child, which he got stabbed, I think, in the studio from Black Child, who was associated with Murder, Inc. You know, you got your chain yapped by some dude named Bruno. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Vivica Fox and all this, the salad toss and get punched in the face by Floyd. Like, it seems like Papoose was literally writing down every incident he could possibly think of. You know what I'm saying? That's transpired over the years to get at 50. It's just funny. He ain't missing nothing, though, at this point. Let me get back to it.
In the deal though, talk all that gangster talk, but is it real though? That's why you say get the strap. I didn't catch on when 50 say get the strap, he mean get the strap on. You need therapy, that's the answer. Not mental therapy, chemotherapy. You a cancer, that's your horoscope. Before you came out, New York was dope. All the guards was woke. Hip hop was flooded with bars and quotes. First you snaked the game and sold to Young Buck with your art and soaps. Disrespected Banks cause he wanted time when his father croaked. Your own son protected his mother, did what his father won't. Disrespect your homies, why you cut all of your partners broke? You
This whole, I'm gonna have to run that all the way back. He touched on, he touched on a lot. He touched on what I had mentioned earlier about Lloyd Banks. He said you disrespected Lloyd Banks because his father croaked. His father died, and then you started shitting on him. Like, instead of being down, holding your man down and being there for your boy, you shitted on him, right? In the time that he was vulnerable and all this other stuff. But the chemotherapy line, let me pull that back.
It's Curtis Blow, but the question is, how much dick can Curtis Blow? Pause. Seen a picture of you smiling, holding a dildo. Talk all that gangster talk, but is it real though? That's why you say get the strap. I didn't catch on when 50 say get the strap, he mean get the strap on. You need therapy, that's the answer. Not mental therapy, chemotherapy. You a cancer.
Yeah, not mental therapy, chemotherapy, because you are a cancer. And then he started going through why he's a cancer, right? So obviously chemotherapy is a procedure for people who have cancer, right? It's to kill the cancer, but and not mental therapy. So that was a little slick flip. But what he's saying is 50's been a cancer to the game. You know what I mean? And I can't even remember all the people that 50 beef with, right? I think 50 beef, not just men too. He beef with Lil' Kim, Tierra Marie, Ja Rule, The Game, his whole crew outside of Yayo. And Yayo has been, you know, faithful to, you know what I mean, has been his loyal soldier. But Banks, Young Buck, who else? Jay. He had a little slick line of Nas when he said, Khalees, what did he say on Piggy Bank? Khalees say all the boys bring the milkshakes to the yard, and then Nas tattooed the bitch on his arm or some shit. That was Nas, like somebody who is from Queens that he looked up to, that he's always held in high regard. He came in the game with the how to rob joint. He did Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Cameron, Dipset, literally anybody that was a name in New York. It felt like 50 had beef with at some point. Obviously Diddy. So yeah, man. You know, so this whole cancer play that Papoose is on, like you're a cancer to the game. Some people think that 50 was the one that kind of ruined the synergy in New York hip hop. Now 50 wasn't the first to beef with people in New York. New York hip hop, Wu-Tang, Terror Squad, and Rockefeller had issues, and Wu-Tang and Biggie. There's little tension that's always been in New York, but 50 came in the game, and it seemed like it was really all about, like, he brought a lot of like contention in the game that probably wasn't on the same. It was on a completely different level. So Papoose playing that cancer angle is actually nasty, because you can make a strong argument that 50 could be looked at as a cancer during that time, or just a cancer in the game. That was hard.
It's Curtis Blow, but the question is, how much dick can Curtis Blow? Pause. Seen a picture of you smiling, holding a dildo. Talk all that gangster talk, but is it real though? That's why you say get the strap. I didn't catch on when 50 say get the strap, he mean get the strap on. You need therapy, that's the answer. Not mental therapy, chemotherapy. You a cancer, that's your horoscope. Before you came out, New York was dope. All the guards was woke. Hip hop was flooded with bars and quotes. First you snaked the game and sold to Young Buck with your art and soaps. Disrespected Banks cause he wanted time when his father croaked. Your own son protected his mother, did what his father won't. Disrespect your homies, why you cut all of your partners broke? You ain't this Eminem, he your slave master.
That's interesting that he said the sun line, right? You know, disrespected Banks, obviously going back up to what I had said, right? You snaked the game and you sold to Young Buck with your artist hopes, right? You remember the phone call where 50 recorded Young Buck on the phone and he was crying and all this. That was crazy. You know, I remember when 50 filmed DJ Khaled's mom inside her store. She was sleeping, and 50 had someone go in her store and like videotape her, and he was basically insinuating like at any point I could get your mom. The insinuation was like, at any point we can get your moms on some street shit, right? So that was crazy to me. But you snaked the game, you sold the young buck with your artist hopes, disrespected Banks because he wanted time with when his father croaked. We touched that. He said your own son protected his mother, did what his father won't, disrespect your homies. Why you cut all of your partners' throats? I mean, these are like hard-hitting lines to me because it's really rooted in what we can all see, right? You know what I mean? Cutting throat, like Lloyd Banks, his own son. He said your own son protected his mother, like Marquis. I think he's talking about his son Marquise, his oldest son, who 50 publicly had like back and forth with, right? He said he basically disowned his son. You know what I mean? Because 50 was going crazy and on his baby moms, him and his baby moms were going back and forth. Not to say that she was a saint and an angel in the situation, but yet he was coming at Marquise's moms publicly. Then there's the alleged sort of house burning down and all that of his baby mom's house, his son's mom's house. So his son was standing up for his mother. Now, who knows who's in? We don't know the dynamics of that, but the bottom line is your own son doesn't want anything to do with you or doesn't like you or you don't have a real relationship with your son. You guys are estranged and all your homies and you've been beefing with everybody. Like, it's just, the evidence is mounting, right? If we're having a debate, it's like ding, 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 ding. Like Papoose is hitting a lot of marks here and he has like substance behind it. Like we can see what happened historically here, man. So yeah.
Respected Banks cause he wanted time when his father croaked. Your own son protected his mother, did what his father won't. Disrespect your homies, why you cut all of your partners broke? You ain't this Eminem, he your slave master. You are a joke, Tony Montana voice. I should step on you, you cockroach.
Yeah, you ain't this Eminem, you know what I'm saying? So he's playing on the whole white guy save, you know what I'm saying? You're the slave, you're basically a slave to, and Eminem's your slave master, right? The white guy. You'll pull a black man down. Yeah, you have no problem going at your own. You know what I'm saying? You would never diss Eminem, but you would shit on your own son publicly, but you won't diss Eminem, huh? You know what I mean? That's your slave master. So that play right there, yeah. Pap ain't playing, man.
Respected Banks cause he wanted time when his father croaked. Your own son protected his mother, did what his father won't. Disrespect your homies, why you cut all of your partners broke? You ain't this Eminem, he your slave master. You are a joke, Tony Montana voice. I should step on you, you cockroach. Need a larger coat, the gun is so big that it's hard to tote. At your funeral, we gon' send off doves, no bars of soap. Do what artists won't, I just don't think that you ought to go. Just give me my flowers, I want the stem in the artichoke. Yes, you are a host, how you gon' say that the guard is broke? I got so much ice that I can deport you, get on the boat. Finger on the toast, G-Unit falling.
I ain't really like that bar. I got so much ice that I could deport you. You know what I mean? We understand what's happening with the whole ICE situation with some of the immigrants there. Not because of anything political. I just thought that the bar just wasn't a hard line. But then what did he say? He said, give me my flowers. I want the stem and the artichoke. I want the whole shebang. Not just my flowers, the whole thing from, I get that too. That's cool. He said, your hoax god is broke. So he's kind of cooling off a little bit in here, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And some of the bars, I think he said, come to your funeral. What did he say? Something about doves, but not a bar of soap. Obviously, the brand Dove, they sell soap, but Dove symbolizing your death, right? Sending you up to heaven. It's a little, he cooling off a little bit here. Hold on, let me pull it back.
Send off doves, no bars of soap. Do what artists won't, I just don't think that you ought to go. Just give me my flowers, I want the stem in the artichoke. Yes, you are a host, how you gon' say that the guard is broke? I got so much ice that I can deport you, get on the boat. Finger on the toast, G-Unit falling like dominoes. Not the pizza shop, I squeeze the Glock and they all be ghosts. Who you trying to roast? He shows a lot of dishonor though. These are God's results, Papoose gon' get him if karma don't. I want all the smoke, man, I'ma swing till your jaw get broke. And you
again, he's cooling off a little bit here to me, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all thinking, but to me, finger on the toast, G-Unit falling like dominoes, right? Not the pizza shop, right? Obviously, the game dominoes, the little blocks, right? That you can, I don't play dominoes, but the game dominoes where you hit the block and all the rest of them fall over. So, you be falling like dominoes, right? Or G-Unit is falling, or what's left of G-Unit is falling. Like I think Uncle Murder and Tony Yayo, I know for sure, are in line with G-Unit. So I don't know if that's a shot there. And obviously we know the pizza shop dominoes. Then he said, I squeeze a Glock and they'll all be goals. Who you trying to roast? He shows a lot of dishonor. Dishonor though, these are the God's results. Papoose gonna get him if karma don't. This is all cool. I mean, in terms of the schemes of it, scheme wise, rhyme scheme wise, it's fine. But in terms of bars, he's cooling off a little bit here for me.
But you get on the boat, finger on the toes. G-Unit falling like dominoes. Not the pizza shop, I squeeze the Glock and they all be ghosts. Who you trying to roast? He shows a lot of dishonor though. These are God's results. Papoose gon' get him if karma don't. I want all the smoke, man, I'ma swing till your jaw get broke. And you start to choke, look at you, I got you on the ropes. Murder Inc. defeated you in the street, you just lied the most. The locks killed you on some D-block shit with the rounds they wrote. Rick Ross won, your other beef was kinda close. More losses than wins, testing Papoose, vominos. You won't be ashamed to have herpes if you were smarter, cause you can avoid passing it to your sex partner. That's too much, boy. Your baby mother threw you under the bus. I guess Daphne didn't bring you too much joy. Hiding that you got herpes.
All right, here we go. Here we go with the mudslinging and all that. Here, I don't know what's up with 50 Cent and the herpes situation. I don't know about that, but apparently he's saying he has herpes, he has diabetes. Then here we go with the Daphne Joy play here. You know what I'm saying? We know what happened with Daphne Joy and Diddy, and he said, and I think she specifically said Daphne Joy. I think she said that 50 Cent sexually assaulted her and abused her, and put his hands on her as well. So I think specifically he said Daphne didn't bring you too much joy. Again, Daphne Joy. She didn't bring you. She brought you misery because she's saying that you essentially assaulted her and you put your hands on her. So then he went on to talk about Murder Inc. Beat him in the streets, right? Murder Inc. defeated you in the streets. Yeah, you might have won on wax, but in the streets though, you know what I'm saying? That rumor has it that 50 didn't come out on top there. That's why it's been a lifelong thing for 50. You know what I mean? To try to get back at Ja Rule is because when it came down to taking it to the streets, man, it didn't go his way. That's what they say at least. Then he said the locks killed him. I agree with that. Yeah, they killed him. Jadakiss killed him, and the shots fired was like, the last nail in the casket. You know what I'm saying? He said Rick Ross won. You can make an argument that Rick Ross had the better diss records. I know that 50 had the sex tape of Rick Ross's baby moms that he put out, so it just depends on what you're looking at. I found that Rick Ross had the better songs. It was weird though, because I think 50 in his own way, I'm going to say Rick Ross edged that. If we're just keeping it about the music, yes, I think Rick Ross won. So, yeah, he's touching literal. He ain't missing nothing.
You won't be ashamed to have herpes if you were smarter, cause you can avoid passing it to your sex partner. That's too much, boy. Your baby mother threw you under the bus. I guess Daphne didn't bring you too much joy. Hiding that you got herpes makes you a fuck boy. Why you don't just admit it like NBA young boy? You laugh when Jewels got caught with a gun.
Did NBA Youngboy admit that? I know that there was rumors of NBA Youngboy having herpes, and women have said that he had herpes, or his mom or something like that said it. So he said, but why are you hiding that you got herpes? Just admit it, man. Like NBA Youngboy, that's funny.
You got herpes makes you a fuck boy. Why you don't just admit it like NBA Youngboy? You laugh when Jewels got caught with a gun. Then you laugh when Supreme blew trial. Are you dumb? You laughed at Jimmy Hinchman bid. This hoe is frail. I know about.
Yes, yeah, the Jewels thing was interesting, right? Jewels got caught with the gun in the airport. You know what I'm saying? I think is what he's talking about, Joel Santana. And I think he had to do some time for that. He got caught with a gun, and which is crazy that you got caught with a gun in the airport. So I get why, I get why 50 would look at that like that's just the dumbest thing. But you had to do that behind the scenes. You publicly laughing at the dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's foul. Now, the whole Supreme and Jimmy Hinchman thing, I think that's some real street shit. You know what I mean? That was a real beef between all them. So him laughing and all that, to me, that's not, I understand. I'm not a street dude, so I get it. But I'm just saying, like, I understand 50 not giving a fuck. It's war. You try to shoot me or get me lined up and take my life, I don't give a fuck about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is no rules after that. So I don't know about the Supreme and Jimmy Hinchman line, but the Jewels, I think that holds some weight, because I don't think Jewels and 50 ever really had a personal problem. I know Dipset at 50, Cam and Jim and Cameron at one point had an issue with 50. Maybe Jewels is just a collateral damage there. You know what I'm saying? But still, like, Jewels ain't do nothing to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Just 50, if you had issue with 50, you and anyone around you got smoked. That's just what it was with 50. That's what happened with Fat Joe being aligned with Rick Ross and, Jadakiss and all, like Jadakiss doing a song with Ja Rule. Like, 50 had an issue with Ja Rule. He saw Jadakiss and Fat Joe on a New York song, and now he had an issue with all of them. That's how that beef kind of came about. So that's just what it is with 50. Anybody in your radius is getting smoked. So Jewels didn't really do shit, but he was aligned with Cameron and, Jim Jones. So anybody in that radius got smoked.
Henchman bid, this hoe is frail. I know about you dry snitching on him, I know it well. What type of street nigga laughs when somebody go to jail? You think last summer was hot? Wait till you go to hell. What sense of humor is good, I'm convinced. But what is the sense of humor when a person's humor makes no sense? A nigga disrespect Papoose, I knocked him out. A nigga disrespect 50, he put a docu out. We not the same. Puff at your girl inside his house. Everything I do for morals and principles, not for clout. If you ever talk to 50 in person, you got...
Okay. Interesting. So if I'm 50, I'm not trying to give 50 any ammo. You know, I like Pap is I rock with Pap. I think Pap is fire. You know what I'm saying? I think Pap is dope. 50, I think 50's dope. 50's, you know, all-time great rapper and all this other stuff. But Pap specifically said here, he said, a dude disrespect Papoose, I knocked him out. I don't know if he's referencing what we all know of, which is, Remy Ma was cheating on him with some dude that's a battle rapper, Easy the Block Captain, and then he saw Easy the Block Captain at a battle rap event, and they're saying that he knocked him out or he punched him in the face, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be. So I think that's what he's referencing potentially. But he said a dude disrespect 50, he put a docu out. So, you know, Diddy, he's referencing 50 Cent's documentary on Puffy, right? So, you know what I'm saying? That's some sucker shit to do is what Pap is saying. Like, he disrespects you instead of, you know what I mean, approaching him like a man. You put a documentary out? That's some sucker shit is what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? But he said, we not the same. Puff had your girl inside his house. Now, 50 has got some ammunition with the whole Remy Ma Papoose thing. Because, you know, he could say, like, yo, a dude took your girl. You know what I mean? Allegedly, Remy Ma was cheating on him like a motherfucker. I think he admitted that Remy Ma was cheating on him. You know what I mean? When your woman is, you know, leaving you for another dude, he could say you wasn't really putting in the work the way you're supposed to. How your woman leaving you for a battle rapper? I'm just saying. I mean, I have no horse in this race, but that could be a mean angle for 50. The Remy angle is mean. You know what I mean? That is a heavy angle that 50 can attack. But anyways, let me get back to it.
At his house, everything I do for morals and principles, not for clout. If you ever talk to 50 in person, you gotta shout. His breath smell like he got a whole pile of shit inside his mouth. Was scared of Maserati Fox. God bless the dead. You know he shoot niggas from the waist up, arm, chest, and head. Heard he deaded you on your money, took off with your bread. You ain't do nothing cause you a cop. You mob with the feds. I turn your legs.
Yeah, all this stuff, I don't even know about that. I know that there was tension with Maserati Fox. We know Maserati Fox, from what they say, you know, he gets busy. He got busy. Rest in peace to Maserati Fox. But I know that there was tension there. I think he used to be cool with 50 too at one point, and then they had a falling out. You know what I'm saying? But I guess apparently, you know, Maserati Fox ran off with 50's money. I didn't know about that. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm saying. When you beefing with another dude from New York, they know people that know you, that know situations that no other rapper out of state, you know what I'm saying, is gonna know. You know what I mean? And this is what it is. It's like beefing with your family member or something like that. Like they know all your dirty secrets and all this shit.
You know he shoot niggas from the waist up, arm, chest, and head. Heard he deaded you on your money, took off with your bread. You ain't do nothing cause you a cop, you mob with the feds. I turn your legs to spaghetti, can't walk with your legs. Put your fat ass right to sleep, go on, get to bed. Used to listen to you in the car, you worthless dog. Your cartoons ain't been the same since Smurf been gone. He the one who was putting in that pain, him and Damo. You ain't putting work on Homo, you live by the 48 laws of...
That was hard. The Bangum Smurf reference there. You know, used to listen to you in the car, you worthless dog. Your cartoons ain't been the same since Smurf been gone. So it's a reference he's referencing 50's, you know, little underling, right? It was a dude that would put work in, and his one of 50 soldiers, basically, Bangum Smurf, who was known for getting it in and letting his gun off in the streets for 50, you know what I mean, was from Queens. And he's saying that things haven't been the same since, you know what I'm saying, since Smurf has been gone. But again, it's a little wordplay there, right? Cartoons. Remember the cartoons, the Smurfs, right? But again, Bangum Smurf. So that was crazy. Yeah, that was hard. And he said Damo as well, which I've heard about Damo too. Yeah, that was hard.
Ain't been the same since Smurf been gone. He the one who was putting in that pain, him and Damo. You ain't putting work on Homo. You live by the 48 laws of power, a book for sinners. The Bible or the Quran is what you should consider. Allegedly, you burned the house down. Look, bitch, nigga, your baby mother don't want you no more. You looking bitter. Them steroids that you taking got you looking bigger. You diss Mano, Fab, and Pap. Brooklyn niggas, the real 50 Cent from Brooklyn. Look, bitch, nigga, just remember you got your name from a Brooklyn nigga. The U.S. kidnapped the president of Venezuela.
Yeah. So the whole Brooklyn flip. Papoose is from Brooklyn. Fab, Mano is from Brooklyn, right? You know what I'm saying? So you dissing all these dudes, but you got your whole swag. You got your name specifically is from a stick-up kid from Brooklyn. Like, clearly there's respect there. You named yourself after a stick-up kid named 50 Cent from Brooklyn, right? So yeah, look at you, Brooklyn dudes, man. Like you can't mess with us, baby. That Brooklyn Queens, you know what I'm saying? That Brooklyn Queens like rivalry.
More you looking bitter. Them steroids that you taking got you looking bigger. You dismay no fab and
Yeah, steroids reference, 50's always been into weightlifting and all that. He's alleging that he's taking steroids. Okay.
Brooklyn niggas, the real 50 Cent from Brooklyn. Look, bitch nigga, just remember you got your name from a Brooklyn nigga. The U.S. kidnapped the president of Venezuela while we was distracted by 50 Cent's propaganda. I think he worked for MAGA, sent to distract us all. Used to be a rat, now he an agent provocateur. They put us in danger in the midst of the night. That's why they had to cancel all the Caribbean flights. Never gives good advice cause he mentally can't. Doesn't display forward thinking he's not really advanced. YouTubers working for him if he gives them a chance. Some of them are literally suck his dick through his pants. I can see straight through him why these idiots can't. He promising them he gonna do a bunch of shit that he can't. Even when he has friends, he takes the enemy stance. Cause he work for the government, he just the industry plant. They don't do fact checks, supposed to listen and learn. Just regurgitate a whole bunch of shit that they heard. He got them all under the wing. This shit is absurd. He has a lot of wingspan cause this nigga's a bird.
Okay. I mean, what didn't Pap address in this, man? The whole diabetes, allegedly, I guess, that 50 has diabetes, the herpes situation, the baby mom situation, the Diddy documentary, the street stuff with Maserati Fox and Bruno and Bangum Smurf. I think 50 has an issue now with Bangum Smurf. I think came out and had an issue with 50. The disintegration of every relationship damn near around him. There's I think he specifically ended it when he said, even when he has friends, he takes the enemy stance. Even when you have people that's supposed to be your friends, you almost move like a frenemy, like an enemy. It's almost like you just, like you want to have complete control over every situation. You want to be able to manipulate people to sort of bend to your will. And when they don't, all of a sudden now you snake them, right? The recorded phone call with Young Buck. And I know the Diddy documentary, that's Diddy had the karma coming to him because we all saw the tape with Cassie and all that other stuff. If you don't believe anything else, that was a tape catching him in broad daylight. No, he was not charged for that. But I feel like, the jurors are not going to just not think of that. I don't give a fuck what people say. That was in mind, I think, when Diddy, when he was charged. You know what I mean? So he kind of got his karma. But I think people know that 50 was doing that out of pettiness as it relates to Diddy dealing with his son's mom. Like, you ain't do that just because you were being righteous. You did that because you were petty. You didn't give a fuck about the victims. You just cared about getting back at Diddy, to keep it real. But either way, homeboy had it coming, so I get that. But it just seems I think he's got a documentary that he's working on with on T.I. now. But it just seems like that whole cancer line was probably the hardest bar in the song, man, because it's just like, it just seems like 50's entire career has been built on contention, and everybody was friends with Floyd, issue, friends with Young Buck and everybody else. Everybody signed to him damn near he has an issue with. Like every rapper in the industry at some point he had an issue with. So it's just your whole who you are as a person is based on beefing and backstabbing and being cutthroat. And so when he says the whole morale of the 48 laws of power, you know what I'm saying? You based your whole 50, 50 had the book 50 Laws of Power or something like that. Your book, like that book is based on back, it's based on sort of, it's like a war general's war preparation. You know what I'm saying? It's not based on anything righteous. It's not based on moral principle. It's based on hurting and conquering and deception and figuring out ways to fuck over people, right? You're using that book for evil. You know what I'm saying? And you should be focusing on something that's going to make you a better human being. Which specifically, he said, you don't display forward thinking. He's not really advanced. And he's talking about YouTubers. I don't know who he's talking about. YouTubers working for him. You know what I'm saying? And then he mentioned we got bigger things going on, man. We basically at war with Iran right now. The president, kidnapped the president of Venezuela. We got bigger things we should be worrying about, but we have distractions like 50 Cent meant to distract us. You know what I mean? To keep our minds off the things we should be focusing on. So it seems like he's like a government industry plant, like here. You know what I mean? Like it's like, like giving a baby a little toy to play with, distract them while we go do some other shit. You know what I mean? We keep the public sort of blinded about what's happening. So I thought that was an interesting way to end it, man. But yeah, man, that was a dope diss. Best diss I think I've heard from 50 ever. I gotta think outside of Checkmate. Outside of Jadakiss's Checkmate, maybe Shots Fired. Outside of those disses, And I might change my mind on that. This is right now I'm on the spot. So this is rivaling Checkmate. I think Checkmate, I think Jada is just better at wittiness and how he constructs bars. He's just very efficient and very witty with his punchlines. And I think Pap, this was just information fucking vomiting of information about 50. And he had some slick lines in here, but it was like a vomit of information to just completely expose his character. And but bar for bar, Jadakiss is just a better, more advanced rapper than Pap to me. But, you know, this was a very, very, very good diss. Very good diss. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody that requested that. You know, I kept saying I'm going to be done with these beef videos, but I just keep getting pulled back in. I get it. This is what you guys want to see. So I'm I'm the man of the people. But yeah, that's it, man. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell for more reactions, man. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is George with Rhyme Weight. I'm out.